Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. It is currently continuing its sell-off. Already in the last video I indicated to you that it might have started its decline in the C wave here. First talked about it when it only moved up in 3 waves here on last Wednesday, that was. But last Wednesday, so this week Wednesday. But before we dive deeper into the analysis, first a few words about the sponsor of today's Bitcoin video, Chartprime. Chartprime is a service that provides specific TradingView indicators. There are 5 specific and unique indicators that you can only get through Chartprime if you sign up to one of their plans. These are based on quite complex algorithms and formulas and can be helpful in identifying trade setups, which means they can provide additional signals that could support your trading. Indicators can, for example, also be useful to support Elliott Wave counts to give more confidence. Of course, you don't need to apply Elliott Wave to use Chartprime, and the combination of their indicators alone can provide trade setups and signals as well. They currently offer a 30% limited time discount, so if you are interested in this, check it out. Of course, bear in mind that no indicator works 100% of the time. Here's an example of the Bitcoin chart with one of the range indicators. This indicator combines various indicators in itself, so you can adjust it to your needs, but it basically shows your range resistances, different support resistance levels based on different time frames, and it categorizes them based on their relevance. And this indicator provides you with dynamic support and resistance bands to which the price is reacting. And if you're interested in checking it out, make sure that you use the link in the video description and on their website. You can also read through testimonials and you can join their Discord community, which you can join in case you have any questions about how to use those indicators. When it moved up in the WXY pattern, touched our resistance here for the B wave, A, B, C in wave 4, and ideally it's now going to lose support here. Maybe it will already have lost support when you watch the video. Of course, I don't know it, but the 22.5k level is the next key support, which already was broken yesterday briefly, but it's this previous low here, 22.5k, and then we've got this small range here at around 22.3. But already updated the channel members earlier today that Bitcoin might have completed here its first wave today, actually, overnight here. In the previous video we talked about maybe this was the wave 1, and here the wave 2 with a sell-off afterwards. But looking at it again, I'm starting to think, well, this is of course possible. We had a possible 5 down, but actually it's better to count it here as 5 waves. It's the clearer structure, and then a wave 2 up now. Now what could of course happen is that this wave 2 is still extending out a little bit further, and this was just an A wave of 2. We're now coming down in a B wave of 2 and will still make a C wave. Really the confirmation will only have if we break below that wave 1 low, which was here, well, 22,360 level, and then we could head down in the 3rd wave. If we go straight away down now in the 3rd wave, then the target would be the 1.618 extension ideally, and we're talking here about 21,100 for a 3rd wave, if the wave 2 is already in. Now of course we don't know that at this stage, but it retested the channel support from below. That's normally quite a bearish pattern or setup. That's sort of what I'm watching out for. And it would really be good to finally follow through and see this decline happen and this downside, because then we're finally breaking out of this range. We're coming down. Ethereum, on the other hand, is still holding support quite well. But I'm leaning, as I already said yesterday and in today's video, I'm leaning towards the downside here. Now, what you can never rule out is that you get a little bit of a retracement to the upside, either in a higher wave 2 or even in a higher B wave. I mean, what could still happen is that we made something fancy here, like A wave down. This is going to be a B wave, a higher degree B wave, that might even go all the way up to around about 23.9k and then come down. This is at this stage still possible, Therefore, I always encourage you, because different things are possible. Yes, I'm leaning to the downside. It would be great to follow this now, and it should do as long as it's staying below this trend line, which is quite nice as well. But you can never rule out that unexpected things happen. And therefore, I can only encourage you, you know, trade the pivots and don't trade the counts, because there are always different counts possible. As I said, you can get a higher wave 2 before you come down. You can get a higher B wave. This was one of these pivot points, the resistance area, where you have basically the pivot, the decision point between, you know, is it a B wave? And again, it could still be a B wave if it comes up higher once more, but is it a B wave, or is it going to be something more bullish, which it would become if it breaks above that resistance? Then you might get a long trade setup at some point. It's then a breakout setup, but still not a pullback, but a breakout setup. Yeah, we reacted to the pivot point and it came down. Anybody who entered here could move down, in this case, the stop loss. And if it then comes up again, you know, you can re-enter, or you can, you know, maybe you get stopped out in slight profit, whatever. But you can never rule out that the market comes back to where it started from. The purpose of these pullback trades is that you can move up or down your stop loss accordingly as soon as the market is going in the desired direction. I think that is sort of best to put it. And now, you know, as I just told you, we reacted here today to the trend line of this ascending broadening wedge. Typically, an ascending broadening wedge is considered a bearish pattern, so it broke out here to the downside, which is helpful, which is also what they normally do if you have such an ascending broadening wedge. Ethereum, for example, rather has a channel, not a broadening wedge, so it shows less weakness than Bitcoin, and it's now following this descending trend line here as well. So I would be watching that trend line. It's a very, very short-term trend line, but here it's coming down, maybe now in the third wave. I gave you a target for that, and pullbacks to the trend line here could also be traded. Yeah, I mean, again, there are hundreds of trading opportunities every day. I always say it, but it depends on which time frame you're trading. Yeah, so for example, pullback short trades, whenever it pulls back, would have worked out here, would have worked out here. If you see it again, maybe it works again. And if it breaks above the trend line, then we just need to watch what is the latest structure, but it could come down without a problem in this 5-wave move without breaking above it. Maybe this becomes some kind of an impulsive channel. We will see. At the moment, I'm leaning to the downside. And did you realize we're talking about different scenarios, but they are all now downwards. As long as Bitcoin doesn't show any significant strength, I will continue to be focused here on the downside. It would now take Bitcoin a substantial break above this pivot point here, this resistance area, to indicate that the downward pressure is going away and that it can put higher levels in place. For example, here we talked about in the previous video that the wave 4 is now the preferred option, that we get a deeper wave 4. Target range here is between 21,217 roundabout and 20,000. However, the very first level that's relevant for this wave 4 is actually the 22,380 level, which is the 23.6 Fib level of the third wave, the retracement. And we touched that now 3 or 4 times. All I'm saying is it could theoretically already finish its fourth wave here and then go up. But again, it would be a very shallow fourth wave. What would happen then? If it then goes up and puts a fifth wave in place, it might do another 10-15%, but then it should have the entire upward trend complete. It should then finish off 5 waves and would most likely come down quite strongly in a wave 2 afterwards. So the thing is, if of course you could enter here, I don't see a solid case for a long trade from here because it would be a very shallow wave 4 only. But hey, it's up to you. If it comes down in this case, it will get quite interesting from a reward to risk setup standpoint again, I think, because then we're talking about in a wave 5 a possible upside, of around 40. Maybe not that high. I would say maybe it can reach like 20. So from here we're talking about, if it moves all the way up to, let's say maybe 27 to 28k for that fifth wave. You talk about 20% maybe. Obviously it's dropped down now more than where we were yesterday when you talked about it already. Maybe 25%, but then really that would be quite strong. Now if we go down from here, If we go down into this wave 4 support area and maybe bounce from the 21.2k level, then we might talk already about 30% plus. And yeah, but that's where we are. You can, of course, we are exactly at support now, the 23.6 fib level. You could enter a long trade here, speculate for upside, set your stop loss below the 23.6 fib level, and if it breaks down, it will probably come into this region. So tight stop loss, but I don't see a high probability of it working out. But in the end, you need to decide if you take the risk. It's not big risk anyway, but it's not high probability of working out. Because in the end, you might risk here, let's say $300 if you bought one BTC, but you could gain obviously like, we talk about 3 to 4K roughly. But yeah, it's not for me at this stage. I'd like to see it come down into this area, wave 4, and then maybe make that wave 5 to the upside if the 20k level holds. If 20k doesn't hold, as I said before, then I'm going to be watching, okay, are we coming down in wave 2, which would be a much more substantial move down, possibly all the way down to around about 18k. But we're going to take it level by level here. That's what I prefer to do. Also, I wouldn't want to call out, the bear market is already over prematurely, that we want to wait unbiased for confirmation by price. And until then, we take it level by level. Okay, I'll keep watching all of that for you. It seems like at this stage that we're going to break the 22.5k level again. Let's see. It's certainly an interesting day here. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.